Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. So tonight I'm actually going to be making some sourdough bread. I went through the whole entire pandemic not making breads except for like banana bread, other quick breads, muffins, etc. But no sourdough. And I actually had visited some family out of state and he had some sourdough starter. So it made the trip back to California. And I've been feeding it since I got home. So I'm going to kind of troubleshoot this a little bit because I have not done sourdough before. I have done other simpler types of bread, and I'm going to do the method where you don't need a bread machine. I firmly believe that actually to make bread you don't need a bread machine. One less piece of equipment in the kitchen, so it should be pretty easy. I do have my staub that I'm going to use. It's a smaller one, so for me that's good because I don't want to make a really big loaf. And actually the recipe that I'm going to be using, it'll probably lend to make 2 loaves. I am starting by measuring out my flour. I'm going to be doing 500 grams of flour. I am splitting this between all-purpose and whole wheat. Yes, I got a scale to measure, and I can definitely recommend one down in the comments below. And I'm even going to be measuring my salt. I'm just going to give this a quick whisk to combine the flours and the salt together. Okay, so I've gone ahead and put some warm water into a large bowl, and I've added quite a bit of my starter to this. And once I have this mixed up, I will be adding my flour mixture. Okay, so then to my water with my starter, I'm gonna add the flour. And I don't have any jewelry and my nails are short right now, so I'm just gonna mix this with my hand until it starts to come together. And if you guys are grossed out by this, I really can't help you. That's just the nature of making this particular dough. I'm not really going to knead it, but I just want to fold in everything and then kind of like pull whatever gets attached to my hands off and keep incorporating it a bit more. I do understand that with sourdough bread, it can also depend on your elevation, how your dough rises, reacts, bakes, etc. So like I said, this is just, it's my first time doing it. If I need to make adjustments next time, then I will. So here is my dough for now. So I'm actually gonna let this hang out on the counter at room temperature for a couple of hours, and then before bed I'm gonna probably wrap it up and put it in the fridge. I actually want this in the fridge for a couple of days because I like the flavor to be developed a little bit longer, and also that it takes on a stronger sourdough flavor, which I happen to like. Some people maybe not, but that's what I'm gonna go for. So again, I'm just hoping that this comes out, period. But so far, you know, it's just gonna hang out on the counter and rest, relax. I'm not gonna mess with it. So it is now the next afternoon. It's Saturday. I started this process on a Friday evening, and I've taken the dough out of the fridge. I actually want to leave it out on the counter again for maybe another couple of hours or so, and then put it back in the fridge until tomorrow morning when I'm going to bake it. So my dough has been rising in a cold refrigerator. I am pleasantly surprised. I'm just gonna turn this around a little bit, not necessarily knead it, but maybe fold it in on itself. So just with a spatula, I'm gonna pinch it towards the center. Yeah, I'm really happy to see that there are bubbles. And then I'm gonna actually turn it upside down. Don't ask me why, I'm just doing it this way. And it's not really sticking too bad either. And all of these are little bubbles at the side that has been forming from the starter that is in here. So, just pick this up again. And then just cover it back with some saran wrap, and it's going to hang out on the kitchen counter for 2, maybe 3 hours. It's a nice afternoon, so maybe 2, but I just want to maybe, again, just let it relax on the countertop. So it is the next morning. I've already baked off one of my loaves. I purposely made it smaller because it's just 2 people in the house, and so for fresh bread, I don't want to have to make a big loaf. I'd rather do smaller ones and then freeze them. Here is my little baby sourdough loaf. I had it in the oven for about an hour covered, and then I uncovered it just for maybe 5 minutes. I made a small one, so, and I have another half of the dough that I'm going to bake off as well. I'm going to bake it a little differently. I still can't cut into this one since I just took it out of the oven, but let me show you how I'm going to bake the next one. Okay, so to my Staub pot, I'm gonna use the same parchment paper. I'm just turning it over. And I will also sprinkle a bit of flour on the bottom. Not too much, but just a little bit. And then the other piece of my dough, which I have right here, I'm just gonna lift it up. Actually, I'm sorry. If you can tell, let me move this. I'm gonna pull and pinch it to the center one last time. And then pick it up. Lay it in the pot. Then I'm going to put another pinch of flour on the top, and this is just to help that when I'm scoring the top, it won't stick too badly. And with a super sharp paring knife, I am just going to slice into it. Maybe it wasn't sharp enough, but I don't want to mess with it too much. Maybe one more. The other one came out much better, but anyways, hopefully this will just come out fine. I'm going to put a lid on top, and this I'm going to let bake for 40 to 45 minutes, and then I'll take the top off and bake it a little longer. So this is after 45 minutes baking in the oven. I'm now just taking the lid off of the pot. I'm going to put it back in the oven for probably another 15-20 minutes. Okay, so here we go. This one is done as well, at least I hope it's done. I just need to let it cool. Okay, so here are my 2 whole wheat sourdough loaves. I did half all-purpose flour, half whole wheat flour. This one is still cooling off. The one on the left is ready to cut into. I'm a little tempted, and I think I'm going to. Okay, so a lot of times when people bake bread, especially like this, they like to tap the bottom to see if it sounds hollow. This is the one that's already cooled off. It sounds okay, but I feel using the whole wheat flour might have made it a little more dense than I would have liked, or maybe my baking time was too long. And then the second one, it's hot, but it sounds a little bit better. I don't know if as it cools it might do the same thing, but I'm gonna go ahead and cut into the one that is already cooled. It looks okay. Okay. So the flavor is there. It definitely tastes like sourdough. It's actually really good. Again, I personally chose to do half whole wheat flour, half all-purpose flour. I might adjust the ratios next time. It is something that I would do again, especially since I already have a starter. So that's very helpful. I do like that I made a smaller loaf. Again, I don't need a really big loaf. However, as I cut myself a second slice off of the end, you can tell that it's a bit of a finer crumb, and that's perfectly okay. I mean, if I'm making a sandwich or a piece of toast, I don't want my toppings to fall through large holes, so this works for my kitchen. And if you've seen past videos, most of you may know that I don't have a toaster, so when I want toast, I just heat it up in a pan, and that works for me right now. I've just topped mine with some apple jam that I found this morning, so it's really good, the sour and the sweet. It's a nice combination. But for a first time sourdough bread making in this kitchen, I'm gonna say it was a success. And again, when I do it again, I may tweak it a little bit. A really big thank you to my cousin Joe in Colorado for giving me a little bit of his starter, and thank you everybody for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video. Please remember to like and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all next time.